family. Here we are back at it again. I hope you are well today. I hope you had a marvelous day. I hope you're doing great. Or as my mother would say, oh, I'm fair middling. Welcome to today's edition of Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I am Carol Riddick, your guest host for this week, and I am joined by my illustrious producer, Ms. Kayla J. Hi, Kayla. We had a great time with you guys yesterday, and we're looking forward to having some more fun tonight. Now, some of you reached out to me on my socials, and y'all are a mess. Y'all are bad. Y'all are so bad. For those of you who are new to the space, though, if you're interested in connecting with me on social media, you can do so on IG at Carol_Riddick and on Facebook at carolriddick.vocalist. And you can also reach Kayla J, but she's everywhere at Kayla J_music nerd. But if you feel like you want to be interactive and you want to talk to us, you can also call us at 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. And if you leave a comment on our socials while we're in midst of the show, I'll do my best to read it on the air. I promise. I promise. I promise. So, all right. Last night, I tell you, we had so much fun, but tonight is ladies' night. Okay. I have invited like some powerhouse women that I want you to get to know better, all of whom are in my circle. So they're all my girls. But you know how you think you like know somebody? You think you know so much about a person, but you know absolutely nothing. I can't even talk. I think I need some water. You know nothing about a person. Well, that's how I feel about all of tonight's guests, because they are all so uberly talented. They're bad. Our first guest tonight is none other than Ms. ALIYA CRAWFORD. She is a publicist, she's a brand strategist, she's a television and film producer, and an entrepreneur. And y'all, she's homegrown. She's from Philly. But I want her to tell you more about who she is. I just want you to get to know her. So family, joining the space right now is Miss ALIYA CRAWFORD. Hey, girl.
Hey, Carol. Hey, everyone. How's it going tonight?
I have no complaints. How about you?
Oh, I'm blessed. And thank you so much for having me. Thank you, WURD. And, thank you, Carol, for inviting me to be on this platform tonight.
I'm so glad that you had time to do it. I'm so glad you agreed to do it, because you didn't hesitate when I asked, and that means a lot. That means so much. But I think everybody should know. Everybody should just know how fabulous you are and all that you do. You know what I mean? You know, when you have some friends and they're like, they do everything. You want everybody to know just how good they are at what they do.
Absolutely. And it takes good people to know good people. And, I feel, you may not always have time for certain things, but you have to make time.
Indeed. My grandmother would say, she would say, nobody's busy. Nobody's ever busy. You make time for that which you deem important.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's sage advice right there. I'm happy to be here. Thank you again for inviting me. It's my pleasure.
I'm so glad. You see, I'm all cozy. I'm in my corner. I'm ready. I'm chilling, and I just want. Okay, I have so much to share with everybody about you, but I want to ask you a few things, and hopefully we can cover at least half of everything that I want to share. So now I know we're both Temple U alumni. TU.
Owls are everywhere. TUMF. For those that know what that means.
Well, how about that? But now tell us, okay, I did tell them some of what you do, that you're publicist, brand strategist, what have you, but I did not tell them that you work for W&W Public Relations. That is you. That's, as far as I'm concerned, that is you. But please tell us your journey from TU to W&W.
Well, yes, I am a graduate of Temple, very proud owl, Temple made. I majored in film and media, there. I was always interested in the arts and also media from a young age, and very interested in the entertainment business. So I always knew that I would be in the entertainment business. When I was very young, like not a teenager, but a child, I would say, you know, I'm going to be a talent agent. I'm going to own my own talent agency. And I think that's ironic, you know, considering what I do now and not really knowing, you know, everything there is to know about the business as a child. So I've always had a passion for film and television, and, you know, always have been a creative. And so I majored in film and media. And when I first started at Temple, that's when the major was just RTF, you know, radio, television, and film.
That was
And
me.
as a lot of people, you know, in this area, and, you know, all over the country would be, you know, aware of. And Temple has a great, you know, always has had a great media arts program and broadcasting and so forth. So majored in RTF initially, and then when the department changed and split, you had the option of, changing over to film and media. So I was always fascinated, you know, with the production side. And so I switched to film and media. You know, had great opportunities throughout my college years. I was a producer at WRTI, you know, Temple, which is now Temple University Radio. And when it was, you know, a jazz formatted station, I was a producer and a reporter there. So worked there a couple of years, you know, got a lot of great experience. Then I went on to, you know, do some things in LA, and had great internships at production companies and at a talent agency, and got my feet wet there. Did, you know, a lot of freelance production work as a production assistant on films and commercials. Worked with a lot of, you know, fellow Temple alum on some great film projects, some great independent projects. I co-executive produced a film called Computer Love myself, and also played in that. So just, you know, doing a lot of different things in the industry. And that led me over 20 years ago now to W&W and to Patty Webster. And Patty Webster, who unfortunately is no longer with us, she was, you know, an icon, a legendary publicist, you know, legendary Black female publicist in the game, who has inspired a lot of people and broke down a lot of doors for people, and just was an all-around amazing person. I called her a once-in-a-lifetime type individual. And Patty passed away, unfortunately, at a young age, before 50, you know, from cancer in 2013. But let me backtrack a little bit. So got to W&W, started at W&W as an assistant. W&W now is celebrating its 30th anniversary in business this year. The company was founded in 91. And one of our first clients was, you know, Robin Givens. Another early client was Stephanie Mills. And another early client who still is a client was Patti LaBelle. So, you know, royalty, you know, right there. And Patti, you know, she had been working in the PR industry for many years and had a lot of great experience and worked with legendary people, you know, Quincy Jones and New Kids on the Block and Carol Burnett and people like that. And then she decided to start her own company, which was W&W. And so she started this business 30 years ago. And she built and established a great business, a great, well-respected brand. And I started with the company in 2001 as an assistant. And I got, you know, introduced to the opportunity through a family friend. And I had, you know, taken some PR courses at Temple, but I didn't ever envision myself as being a publicist. And, you know, so once I got this opportunity at W&W, it just, you know, so happened that PR was something that I had an affinity for, you know, naturally. And, you know, the rest is history. It's been good to me, and it's been a privilege. And I've, you know, been very blessed in my career to work with a lot of the people who we work with and have worked with, and to have all these experiences as a publicist and, you know, as a, you know, a marketer and someone who helps to, you know, build people's careers and helps to enhance people's careers and just add to their, greatness. And, so it's been quite a ride over these past 20 plus years now.
ALIYA, you say 20 plus years, and I just joked with you the other day. I said, but you look like a baby.
Girl, I was a child prodigy. I started I was like Doogie Howser, Indy. I graduated school early and did all these things. I'm still in my 20s.
Exactly. See, I know that, and I wanted them to know that. So.
Right, exactly. So thank you for reminding me to tell everybody about me being a child prodigy. That's very important.
It is so very important. Okay, that's
that's it. If we take away anything else from this interview,
okay, that's important information right there.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, you talked about Patty, and Patty Webster, that is, whom we all love and adore and know to be legendary. She is the founder of the firm. Can you tell me about the transition after the loss of Patty? Like, tell me how that was for you and the staff, and picking up the pieces.
It was, it was very challenging, I will say that, but I learned so much over the years, and it's made me a better person. The experience, it's made me a better person and also a better professional, because and it was like I had to learn on the job. And no matter how much you are prepared for a situation or you aren't prepared for a situation, it's always going to be a hands-on, experience, and Patty was sick, she was dealing with an illness for many years. So she was prepared, and thank God she put a lot of things in place, for the succession of her business, which is important, in terms of being an entrepreneur, or, just even if you're not an entrepreneur, just, making sure that you're set up, that your business affairs are in order, and even for your family, things like that, and those that are going to live after you. And Patty always wanted her business to outlive her. And I think that's an important piece for entrepreneurs. When you think about your business, is it set up so that it can outlive you and so that it can continue? Because, death is a reality. And so she definitely made sure things were in place. And but I wasn't aware that I would be one of the people who would, end up being one of the shareholders of the business, and Patty actually left part of the company to my partner, Karen Lee, and me. And so we weren't expecting that. And so, with Patty having been the face of the business, it was very transitional. We had to work really hard to make sure that people understood that the business would continue, and that we, had the infrastructure in place to do that, and that we had, our own direction to continue the business. We would continue in the spirit of the business that Patty had established, and that we would, but we would continue to move in new and positive directions. So it was almost like, starting a new business in a sense. Like, we benefited from the reputation and what had been built over those, 20 some odd years. But, when you have new people that are leading the company, it's definitely going to impact the direction. And of course, in our business in PR, when you're working closely with people to help them, as it relates to their brands and their profiles and their, reputations, that's a very sensitive area. And so people have to have an immense level of trust for you. And so even though, working with clients that had known us and had those relationships with us, it's different, when you have that relationship with the person that's the CEO, and that's who you started doing business with initially. So, it was a lot of, maintaining relationships and also building new relationships over the years, and making sure people understood that the integrity of the company was still there. Sure. And that we would still, be able to provide a high level of service. And that was a matter of just making sure that trust was still there, communicating, making sure that level of trust was still there, because it's a lot of trust, mutual trust that has to go on in this line of work.
Absolutely. You know, you talked about servicing legendary clients. Legendary. You mean, like you said, royalty. So I cannot imagine, you know, one, having to deal with such a huge loss, and then two, having to sustain, maintain, and retain. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was. It was really heavy. And even, you know, and you know this because you're in show business, you're an artist and a performer. And one side of the business that's a stark reality is the show must always go on, right? And you know this, you know, having, you know, just dealing with, you know, life, everyday life. But then as a performer, you know, you have a certain expectation to, you know, and a certain responsibility almost to the public. And as those that work behind the scenes, we have the same obligations. Yep. And so Patty Webster, having been a public figure, you know, when she passed away and so many people loved her in the industry, and then, you know, she also had a public profile, you know, when she passed away that morning, we were actually writing, my partner Karen and I were actually writing a press release and dealing with some people who had, you know, revealed that she had passed on social media. And we had to deal with that. Like, hey, no, you can't do that, because there may be people in Patty's family or other friends that she's very close to who don't even know yet. And it's not your place to make that announcement. So we were dealing with that literally within hours of her passing, and writing a statement and also sending, you know, notifying the clients. So it's like, even in the midst of your grief, the show must go on.
Oh, you know what? I'm reliving like so many moments as you say that, because like you said, being in this industry, I know all too well. And it happens so often, you know, but because we're living in such a digital world, people forget that. They forget, you know, everything is so instantaneous now, you know,
Right.
You know, I want to, and people forget, they forget to take into consideration that there are people who love and adore, look at me falling apart, people who love and adore these individuals, and that there needs to be some compassion associated with their actions.
Exactly. But, you know, like I said earlier, sometimes when you know, have to deal with certain things, it really allows you to realize that you have strengths that you weren't even aware of. So that's the positives, you know, when you deal with challenging situations, it really allows you to, you know, dig a little bit deeper.
That's so true. ALIYA, take a breath, everybody. Family, you take a breath as well. We are going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
In Pennsylvania, it's now illegal to sell tobacco products, including cigarettes, cigars, chewing tobacco, vapes, or electronic cigarettes, to anyone under 21. Stores can get fined up to $1,000 for selling tobacco to someone who is underage. Know the law. Check IDs. Post your retailer license. Make sure only employees have access to tobacco products, and only sell tobacco products to customers aged 21 and older. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy.
This is a rap about voting, registering, and voting. It's called A Two-Step by Lucille Ijoy and Bill Jolly. Everybody knows Bill Jolly. Listen to Grandmama and take this special note. Step 1 is registration. Step 2, go out and vote. It's called a two-step. It's called a two-step. Calling all citizens, don't you delay. It's time to do the two-step and do it right away. You say you want to have your say. You say you want to change. Well, get up off your duff. You have the power to arrange. Listen to Grandmama and take the special note. Step 1, registration. Step 2, go out and vote. Step 1, registration. Step 2, go out and vote. It's called a two-step. It's called a two-step.
Stay connected on the go with the new and improved WURD Radio app. Search WURD Radio to find it on your app store. Stream every show with increased clarity. Easily access WURD TV, EcoWord, and Livelihood. Start or renew your full-WURD membership and buy WURD swag. Remember, Black Media Matters. Get the new and improved WURD Radio app today. Available on Google Play and the Apple App Store. Save Space on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
Call my name. Just call. Just call. Ooh, just call. You. All you got to do. I was sinking deep within, way beyond my control, so bound and wrecked within. I felt I lost my soul. Heard a voice from heaven above saying, I'll be there just as long as you call on me. He'll be there. He'll be there. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Welcome back, family. You're listening to Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Call us at 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. WURD Radio is sharing a harvest for the world. From October 11th through December 31st, visit wordradio.com each week to find information on upcoming Give Back events in Philadelphia. We will feature organizations hosting free food, clothing giveaways, workshops, and more. This is the season of giving back, and WURD will make sure you have a seat at the table. To find out more, visit wordradio.com. I want to say hello to a few friends of ours who have joined us on Facebook Live. Shalata Sankofa is saying, hey, peace and blessings. We're sending them right back to you, sending all the love that you can handle. Michael, Chip Gordon, hey, Chip. How you doing, Chip? Is saying hey as well. Dexter is saying hey. I'm getting all kinds of messages. Everybody, all the family is saying hey. We are talking with ALIYA Crawford. If you just joined us, she is a PR specialist extraordinaire. Now, I'm summing that all up. There's an ellipsis there, but I'm going to stop with that because I want to ask her some more questions about what she does so you can get a better idea of just what's under that umbrella of PR specialist. Miss Crawford, look, I'm all formal now. Miss Crawford, she's my girl, y'all. She's my girl.
I'm here, Miss Riddick. I'm here.
No, you didn't. You did not give me Miss Riddick. Look. ALIYA, I have a question about what a typical day for you entails when you're doing, well, let's just say PR, because I know that, under, with regard to your company, you do a lot of things, and I'm going to ask you to tell us some other things that you do as well. But with regard to PR, what does a typical day for you entail?
Well, PR is public relations, right, and communications. And so it's all about, relating to the public, how a brand or an individual or an organization relates to the public. And a lot of people don't really necessarily know what PR is, but just in short, it's a part of marketing. It's under the marketing umbrella. You have advertising, which is paid marketing, where, companies pay for the placement they receive in the media and on television, magazines, on radio, on billboards and things like that, and on your, Facebook and Instagram. That's advertising. And then you have what's called earned media, which is PR. So you have PR departments or PR companies or PR professionals who are paid to get you that same media placement. And they do that through stories and interviews. And that's another way to promote or i.e. publicize your brand. So, anytime you see, anytime you read an article in the newspaper or a magazine, or see an interview on Good Morning America or The Tonight Show, or on WURD, or on another station, Steve Harvey, what have you, Ricky Smiley. That's the work of PR professionals. And then PR specialists, they also have to deal with, things that could be detrimental to the image of a particular brand or a person, the crisis side, and manage crises in order to, preserve the reputation of a certain brand. And most publicists deal with that at some point in their careers. And then you also have companies and PR professionals who specialize in the crisis side of things and making sure that, brands and individuals can bounce back from something that might be negative, as far as their profile and their image is concerned.
ALIYA, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's just, yeah. And
I didn't
you
even
was
answer
talking
the
about
question yet.
Exactly. You're just like, that is a whole lot. Listen, I want to get to the remainder of your response, but we have a caller. We have a friend of ours that has called in. Ron has called in, and Ron has a few questions for us.
Hi,
Ron,
lady.
how are you? How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I wanted to just give a history, and I'm glad you young ladies was a little younger, but it was Sister Sonia Sanchez, Brother Omar, WITR, and with the diverse initiative that they took on way back over 25 years ago. It laid the infrastructure for y'all ladies to go to Temple, to be with the diversity and what y'all have accomplished at the university there. I don't know if anyone of y'all know Andre Swine over there, there's our PR person, or Mr. Bill, or anyone in the Tyler School of Art. I had the privilege to speak at the Tyler Art School when Dr. Ann Hart was with us. And I'm saying all this to say, with Dr. Sonia Sanchez, way back in those days, she was encouraging the females in particular, not excluding anyone else by gender, but it was very important to her, and she did this. What she did, she was encouraging the people at the university, and them students there, the females, to have the pride in themselves, of their looks, their dress codes, all those things, and it really have made a difference because your generation have made a difference, and y'all see the ones that graduated from Temple. I want to say this poem to y'all, and I'm an old man, and I'm a rapper. As a matter of fact, they call me pop rap. My rap goes like this: because of y'all success, and it's a decent rap. A nickel's a nickel, and a dime is a dime. When I conquer America, y'all mine, y'all are mine. And I'm saying that, and continue. You talked about the lady that came before you. I don't want to fabricate nothing, but I think I remember that lady name mentioned over there at the university. And it's your job as you begin to achieve and reach your goals, always give back. You can't give money, but give back and to give back and to encourage that while we're in this country, you can make a difference by empowering yourself. I mean, you empower yourself, not so much with money, with the generation under y'all that's going to be under y'all. Then I think the country, and as many obstacles that we are faced with, I think we have hope for tomorrow. And I'd always like to close with these words. You mentioned something that your grandmother, one of y'all mentioned something your grandmother used to say. And I know people have said in the past it's difficult times, and we know that. But your grandmother and them elders like that and myself would say, even in difficult times, there is a bright side somewhere. And continue to do it while you live. And when you give, what you get back in return, we know we want resources, but what you give, when you lie down at night, knowing that you have extended your hand and give your gift to encourage someone else, So I thank you very much. I'm enjoying the program, and continue to be successful. You have your faith in your hand. The Bible says it like this: He gives you dominion over life. Take advantage of it. Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you.
Oh, Ron, thank you. No, oh, my word. That just touched me. That really, really touched me. Thank you so much, Ron. Thank you for listening. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for the poem. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for the support. And I know I speak for ALIYA and you know, those who are like-minded. We so appreciate the knowledge. We so appreciate the support. We so appreciate you standing with us because we're trying. We are trying. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you so much. Those words, you know, were so encouraging. And thank you for, you know, bringing up Sonia Sanchez. Of course, you know, she's someone who we love and admire for everything that she has done for our people, for the culture, you know, for Temple University, for women, and, you know, Black women, and for, you know, just for everybody, for the world, and all of her contributions. So she is definitely one of our elders who we love and admire. And so, you know, thank you for bringing that up and for blessing us, you know, with those words. And like you said, you know, you really blessed our lives with what you said. And it's true. Everyone can do something, and you do what you can to contribute, you know, so that's really important, a really important jewel, I think.
I agree wholeheartedly with you, ALIYA. We have another caller. Cliff has called in and would like to contribute. Cliff, are you still there?
Appreciate it. Listen, Ron has some good words, and I'll be brief. He has some powerful words, and simply want to wish you in your new position, you know, as host of the show, and certainly want to give my best regards and much respect to Sister Sarita and her new endeavors. She was a strong and powerful sister, and so with that being said, you know, I simply want to say this, is that, you know, in general, I believe there's nothing wrong in supporting and looking out and being pro-Black, okay? And so it's not racist. You know, Black people can't be racist, you know, and so there's a difference between, you know, being racist and being pro-Black. And so pretty much what I'm saying is that we as a people should and need, and it's imperative that we love us first. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, and I'm looking at, and I'm just in with this, and I'm looking at, just recently popped on my Facebook page, Usher. He's expecting a second child from this non-Black woman, you know, and then Michael Jordan, you know, and then so many professional athletes, you know, Black now, that go outside their race, you know, particularly when they make money. So all I'm simply saying is that as Black men, you know, respect our sisters. You know, our sisters are so valuable, and I just need for them to do that. And even in the eyes of God, you know, that's not wrong, you know, for loving us first. So if we can just do that more, if that makes sense, sisters, if we can just do that first, you know, then we can spread whatever love we got left to everybody else, you know, but let's keep it within ourselves. And if we can do that, you know, even with the violence, I mean, you know what I mean? That's so hurtful, you know, just to see the hatred that's being possessed, you know, with our youth, you know, will be influenced through music or any other type of drugs, anything, you know, it's not good. And it's hurting us as a people. It's hurting God's people. So if we can just change our mindset and love us first, I think we might elevate to a different level. So if that makes sense, I appreciate it. Thank you, sisters, for taking my call.
Cliff, thank you for your words as well. I happen to agree with you wholeheartedly. This is an ongoing conversation for me, an ongoing discussion. I can't talk about it enough. You know, we are a people that hurt deeply. We are deeply hurt, and I always say that we don't know, we don't communicate well. We don't effectively communicate with each other. We don't effectively communicate as adults. Cliff, we might have to have a whole discussion on that alone, about loving ourselves, loving each other, loving our people, our culture. We don't enough. But I thank you so much for introducing that into this conversation, because I believe I speak for ALIYA too, that we appreciate that contribution. And I certainly agree with you. I most certainly agree with you. I won't speak with you for you, ALIYA, but I know that I do certainly agree with you, Cliff, and I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate both you and Ron. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, what I have to say is I think that, we do love ourselves as a people. And, but we have to understand that, we are still dealing with, vestiges of slavery and Jim Crow. We still live in a racist society. And so we're still dealing with those things. And, this country, the United States, is a fairly young country, is a very young country. It's not fairly young. And then, our time, people don't realize how short of a time, honestly, it's been, even since our ancestors were brought over here as enslaved people. And then, even it was just 60 years ago, before the Civil Rights Act and when Jim Crow was still in place and all sorts of, legal racist policies. So, I feel like we've come a long way. Yes, we have a lot farther to go. And I will say also, I think we do love ourselves, but loving others starts with loving yourself. You can't love yourself and love others until you can really love yourself. We have to love ourselves as individuals, then love our families, then love our communities, and then branch out. It's hard everybody wants to start on such a grand scale, but sometimes I think we need to start on a little more of a micro scale and then grow from there, but everybody wants the big changes first.
That was to what I was referring, because I don't feel, I agree with you. I do believe that we love, there is some love. There's not enough, but I do agree that, self-love is first, and we're not there yet. We are not there yet. Every day I'm seeing all kinds of images and I'm reading all kinds of things, and we do have a long way to go. I agree. We have made some progress. I agree with you when you said that, ALIYA, but I believe we have a long way to go. I see so many things on a daily basis that sadden me, that really hurt. But you are right. It does start with loving ourselves first. And
And I think, we have our own set of unique issues, things that come with being Black Americans. But we have to understand still that, Black people and people are of color, specifically Black people, we are the global majority, and so, and what we have contributed and continue to contribute to the world and all of our accomplishments, they can't be, marginalized, because, so even though we have these unique sets of problems as Black people who are Americans, it's a lot bigger than just our problems on, the continent of North America, and what, the positives of, Black people all across, the world. So I understand what he was saying, but I think we also, I don't want to, we could talk about this all night.
Exactly.
And I don't want to go too far down this path because it will just get, it's so many different, it's so many layers. But I think that we do love ourselves. But although, in spite of the fact that we weren't brought here to love ourselves. We weren't brought here to, respect who we are. Everything was, stripped away, our language, culture, religion.
No, you're so right about that. You're so, and like I was saying, like we both said, we agreed. This is a whole, we could have this entire conversation. But what I want to do is take a break. We're going to breathe and come right back.
Get ready. The big three are coming. Maze, featuring Frankie Beverly. The featuring Joe. So I want to know. Saturday, November 6th at 7 p.m. in the Jim Willen Boardwalk Hall. The Big Three. Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, the Isley Brothers. And Joe. And Philly's own Buckwild. These tickets will go fast, so you better hurry and get yours. Available at Ticketmaster.com. It's Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, the Isley Brothers, and Joe. Saturday, November 6th at 7 p.m. in the Jim Willen Boardwalk Hall. For COVID-19 rules and instructions, go to ppshows.com or boardwalkhall.com.
Comcast has built a broadband network with one simple purpose: to keep customers connected every single day. In the last 10 years, we have invested $30 billion and $15 billion since 2017 alone to keep America's largest gig-speed broadband network fast, secure, and reliable. Because more Americans rely on Comcast to stay connected, we work around the clock to build a better network every single day. Comcast. Better today, even better tomorrow. Learn more at comcast.com/network.
Need to replace your Social Security card? In most states, you can request one online with a My Social Security account. A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can also get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Save Space on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
Welcome back, family. You're listening to Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Call us at 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. We've talked with Ron, we've talked with Cliff. ALIYA, I interrupted you with your response earlier, but we do have another call, if that's all right with you. Dwayne is on the line, I believe. Dwayne, are you still there?
Yes, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Well, you know, I look at it this way. You got a lot of people who love each other, then you got a lot of them not. And the way I look at this thing, you're not going to get all people. A lot of our people ain't going to love each other. I mean, a lot of our people going to hate each other. You're always going to have that. So you got to get the ones you can reach. See, everybody ain't going to do the right thing. That's the way I look at it. And then you got a lot of stumbling blocks in our community too. You got, like you say, you got the churches and all this stuff blocks us. So you got a lot of hatred because like you got some religion that don't want to talk to you because you got this religion and that religion don't want to talk to you because you in that religion. So it's a lot of hatred too. So what you got to do, get the ones you can reach. Because you got a lot of good people in our community will do a good job. And
You're
a lot of them not
absolutely
gonna do a
right.
good job. Right. Okay.
No. I did not intend to interrupt. I was agreeing with you, but you're absolutely right. The ones that you can reach, and I think what's important is that we continue to try. I think that's the most important thing, that we continue, that we, remain steadfast. Would you not agree?
You could try, but see, you know, my mom pop you said you talk to somebody till you blue in the face, and still they're gonna go another way. So you could try, but what I'm doing now, I'm getting the one I can reach. I don't know everybody, but I'm doing all I can, you know, tell people to do the right thing. If they don't, that's on them.
Well, that's all you can do, though. You know what I mean? That's all you can do. And that's trying. That's not giving up. That's trying. So that's all we can do. Dwayne, I want to thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
No, go right ahead. I didn't mean, I thought you were finished.
Now you take when Jesus walked on the earth, he didn't reach everybody. I mean, he reached everybody, but he did. A lot of people didn't listen to him. Now he was the best teacher. So you know they ain't going to, you know, everybody going to listen to us. Now he did all he can try to reach everybody, but everybody didn't go his way.
He did. He sure did. But you know what? There's still those of us who maintain the word. There's still those of us who continue sharing the word and spreading the word and living by the word. So his voice is still lives on. It still lives on through our words, through our actions. You know, I think it's important for us to take note of that too and not discount that, because like you said, I mean, when he was walking around, they did not listen, but he lives in us, through us, and we are still trying to make a way. I want to thank you so much.
You have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with Dwayne, you know, that you have to reach the ones you can reach, but at the same time, you know, you don't want to give up or throw away anybody, because but I feel, you know, you have to meet people where they are. And, you know, like the old proverb says, each one teach one. You know, if you can just teach one person or help one person, then you're doing something.
That's true. And, you know, I think it's important too, because everybody has a language. Everybody learns differently too. You know, because you can talk, but that may not be the way, you know, that person receives it. You may have to show them. You know what I mean? So
exactly. And that is the point right there. You said something extremely valuable, Carol. You said show them. And sometimes the best thing we can do is lead by example, you know, because everybody is not where you are, or they may not be where you are. And everybody's growth is different. And so when we can just show, it's good to reach out to people and help them in a real, you know, practical, tangible way. But sometimes setting that example from afar is just as valuable.
It means everything. You know, I'm so grateful to my mother for having taught me that everybody has a language with regard to communication. Now, I do not know everybody's language, but I do know that, you know, we all learn differently. We all receive differently. We all perceive differently. So, you know, sometimes it's changing your approach in order to have someone hear you, see you, understand you, you know, or what you're saying or trying to relay. I also, I want to say hello to some more of our friends who have joined us on Facebook. Armand says, hey you. And Walt Reader Jr. says, hey, to his sisters. So,
hey, Walt. Thanks for tuning in.
ALIYA, before we go into the next segment, I would like to give you the opportunity to finish talking with us about PR and the umbrella. You know, like I was saying, there was so much that I wanted to unpack with what you do. We did just touch the tip of the iceberg, but
yes. And I know you asked what a day, you know, a typical day for me is like, you know, and for one, it's usually full of meetings. You know, right now everything is virtual Zoom or Microsoft Teams, you know, or on the phone. You know, you're getting requests for your clients, media requests. You're pitching your clients for media opportunities. You know, you're putting together, you know, press plans, publicity plans, and strategies. You know, you're figuring out who are going to be the best and most viable targets for your client at this particular time based on what they're promoting, you know, and you're weighing all your options and putting together a strategy that you think is going to be effective for them. You know, you may be dealing with a few crises at the same time. You might be planning for some special appearances that your client is going to make at some high profile events or award shows. You know, you may be, you know, have some clients out on tour. And this is for me because I work in the entertainment industry primarily. You may be putting together talking points for a client or planning a photo shoot or a television shoot. Usually all those things are going on. W&W, we also do talent booking. So we book for a major podcast, Money Making Conversations with Rashawn McDonald. And we also book Stephen A. Smith's show, his talk show, Stephen A's World on Stephen A. Plus. So we're sending out invitations to various talent to be guests on those programs. And, in my position also, I'm also, managing our team, helping to manage our team, helping, with the overall operations of the company, and also help, working on continuing to develop the company and build the company, attract clients, maintain clients, maintain relationships, and create new relationships. So it's multifaceted, and PR is multifaceted. I would encourage any, young person or not so young person that's interested in it. It's definitely a field that's continuing to grow, and one that is very rewarding, but it is, it can be challenging, but it is a good field, and it's a growing field. So, young people who are interested in PR, do your thing.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. ALIYA, you're going to have to come back.
I said a mouthful. I talk a lot sometimes.
No. You talk, let me tell you something. You shared so much, because I have questions about mentoring, and I have questions about, so for instance, when I seek your services, at what point in my career am I? But before you begin to answer that question, what I want to do is, take another moment. It's time for us to go to break. We'll be right back.
The Philadelphia Department of Prisons is accepting applications for correctional officer from September 15th to October 15th. Starting salary is $43,199. To be a correctional officer, you must be 20 years of age or older, have a valid PA driver's license, be a resident of the city of Philadelphia, or relocate to Philadelphia within 6 months of hire. Benefits include full health coverage, including dental and vision. Do you want to make a difference in the field of corrections? Here's your chance. Apply today. Apply at www.phila.gov/personnel. The Philadelphia Department of Prisons is an equal opportunity employer.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You can say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You can ask on your couch while you binge watch. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the JED Foundation.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. She wasn't even really sure where she was at.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Stand with WURD Radio, the only black-owned talk radio station in Pennsylvania. Did you know you can join the Forward movement and amplify voices of the black community as a digital member for as low as $5 per month? Visit membership at wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875. We need you. Show your support. Start or renew your Forward membership today. This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Streaming live on wordradio.com, the WURD Radio app, or watch live on WURD TV via Facebook and YouTube. WURD Radio, independent black media.
Welcome back, family. You're listening to Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We've enjoyed the calls we've had this evening, but we're encouraging more of you to call us too. Call us at 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. As I told you, tonight is Ladies' Night, and we've got some powerhouse women as our guests. We've been talking with ALIYA CRAWFORD, one of my girls of W&W Public Relations, and coming up in our next hour, we've got some more powerhouse women that I'd like you to know better. ALIYA, I'd ask you a question just before we went to break. I'd like to give you the opportunity to answer that question before you leave us. I was asking you, at what point in my career do I reach out to you?
Well, I always suggest to people that once you are on a level where you have, product out in the marketplace that can be consumed on a large scale, your business is scaled up enough that, you can see the return on your investment. So that's the point when you should reach out to a PR professional if you don't have a PR department built into your company or brand. Because to me, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in just, even though many people have done it the opposite way and they've been successful with that. Sometimes people, are able to just create a brand now with social media and the internet. Sometimes people have created a brand without necessarily having a product yet to promote, and then the product comes later. They're able to record an album or get a show just based off of the audience they built for themselves. So that can happen, but I always suggest, have, your product and your company firmly established in what you do so that people can support. So you're going to publicize yourself and your brand, and then people can go buy tickets for your tour, your shows, or they can buy your book, or they can buy your product, whatever product your company produces. And then you want to implement PR. You want something to actually build a PR campaign around, to me. So that's the point when people should think about employing publicists, because before that, you should really work on developing your business or developing your brand and making sure that you're investing in your business or whatever your brand is. That's to me. And then you can do certain PR related things yourself, like, trying to strengthen your social media, making sure you have your social media and your websites and all of your communications in place, making sure you have, your marketing materials, a good website, photos, bio, things like that. But you can do that without having a publicist, and you can send out media advisories or press releases if you're doing special events and things. So those are things you can do internally without necessarily hiring a publicist. But if you're, scaling up your brand or your business, then you may want to implement that, full-fledged national PR campaign.
ALIYA, let me say thank you. First of all, thank you as my friend, but thank you as the powerhouse woman that you are for being a guest tonight. Thank you for all of the jewels and the pearls that you've dropped and left with us, with the knowledge you've imparted. Just thank you, and happy anniversary to your company, to you, to your successes. Congratulations on all of your successes. You hear me? I drank that water and it messed me up.
Oh, you're good.
But no, congratulations on all of your successes. And I wish you more. We're going to say good night and see you later to ALIYA. And we're going to introduce some other powerhouse women into tonight's space. Thank you, ALIYA.
Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you for inviting me into Save Space. Thank you, WURD, and shout out to all the callers and everyone in the audience. It's been great talking to you tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Everybody, in this next hour, the next two ladies, well, they're in my circle too, but they're not only in my circle, they're my sisters. I mean, from up and down and in between, we go way back, okay? They are vocalists, songwriters, producers, engineers, pioneers, consultants, television and media producers, label owners, former Grammy nominees, and did I tell you they're my girls? Family, please welcome into the space Ms. Terry Jones and Ms. Helen Bruner. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Carol.
Hey. What's up, Carol?
Girl.
Thank you for having us.
Listen, I'm so glad that, you had the time, that you were able to do so. I've been telling everybody, I say, how you think you know somebody? You think you know everything about a person, and then you say, wait, I don't know anything. I know absolutely nothing. Now, I talk to these ladies all the time. I promise, I think I talk to them in my sleep. That's how often we talk, because they're my girls. But I want you all to get to know them better. I want you to know who they are and what they do, and there's so much to unpack. So I want to get started. I want to let them know. Terry, now, you were born in New Jersey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell, I call them T and Hell. So T, you were born in Jersey, and Hell, you in Philly.
Yeah.
How did the two of you meet?
Let me see. We go back to heaven.
Is that way?
We go back to heaven. I mean, 30-something years ago, and my mom pretty much adopted Terry because, as you'll hear, her mom passed when she was a baby, and we've been family ever since. That's my sister from another mister. You know what I mean? And we really truly believe that we played together in heaven. Like, we absolutely believe that, because it's too ironic. I mean, it's just too crazy, too many coincidences. So we know that the souls have been traveling through time for many, many moons.
I believe it too, right?
Yes.
I believe it. I definitely believe it. And y'all were playing in the sandbox in heaven.
You already know, yes.
So I want to go to, because you two have a company, and it's called Philersy.
Yeah, Philersy Entertainment. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So when did you form Philersy Entertainment? What prompted you to form Philersy Entertainment? And what are all the things that Philersy Entertainment does?
What prompted us to, let's see, we have to go all the way back when we're talking about Philersy Entertainment, right, T?
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm. So we started Philersy Entertainment because it actually was Philersy Productions. So the name came up, Philly and Jersey. Of course, I'm born in Philly. Terry's born in Jersey. And because we really wanted something that was unique unto itself, so no one could copy it, create a website, come up with this name. So we spelled it a particular way. We put a Z instead of an S. And we came up with Philersy Productions, and because we had met a gentleman. T, tell a little bit about Joe T. Vanelli.
Yes. Well, we were called in for a vocal session in New York with this pretty big producer out of Italy, Joe T. Vanelli. And we went up to New York. We're in the session, and he was waiting for a writing partner to come in to write with him. And the person stood him up. So he looked at us in his broken English. Helen, you can imitate what he said to us.
I know, I'm the impersonator. He says, "Girls, can you write it?"
And we said, yes, we can.
Yeah, because you got to always be ready for an opportunity,
Be prepared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we wrote
the song. Yeah, we wrote the song that night. And then he said to us, I only want one singer, one lead singer. And we said, no, we're a duo. We don't split up, but we can get you a singer. So we drive back to Philly. We had a session the next day with him to finish the work. We drive back to Philly. We hear this voice coming out of a bar, and this is a true story. We pull over, and this girl is blowing. She's singing Chaka Khan. Helen jumps out the car. You run in, and what do you say to her?
And I say, "Girl, you want to make a record tomorrow in New York?" And she goes, "Okay, this chick is crazy." And I said, "No, we're serious. Listen, you can Google us. You can Google who." No, Google wasn't out yet, right? This is in the 90s, right? So, early 2000. Yeah. So I said, "Look, you can do some research, something." I said, "I can give you anything you want. Give us a call." And just so happened she worked for an entertainment attorney. She said, "Well, I don't care whatever kind of contract you give me. I'm gonna give it to my boss anyway." So we drew up this contract, and then we didn't have a name, so we came with Philersy Productions that night. Gave her the contract. She looked at it. The attorney, her boss, said, "It's cool. It's one record, 2 records, maybe at tops. Go do it. They give me a little money. You get a little royalty. Go." We go back to New York. We
record
song. Next thing we know, a month later, he calls us. He says, "Girls, you have a hit there," and the song was licensed to over 250 compilations around the world.
That's how Philergy began.
Yep. So that's how Philergy Productions began. So that she was our first artist. Her name was Lynn from Philly.
And she's from Philly too. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I asked, right? I did ask,
did.
and I did. Oh my goodness. So, okay, so I was going to ask how the both of you transitioned from being recording artists to consultants, because I know you, but you're not just recording artists. I should say all of that. How did you transition from being recording artists, producers, well, you're still producing engineers, so I can't even say that. When did you add becoming consultants to the mix? When did you add that? That's the better question.
Well, you know what? I can tell you this. We sat on a panel some years ago for Temple, and inside of this seminar, they held up every single thing that is in the music industry. And when me and T looked at all the signs, we realized that we covered the gambit in just about almost everything we've experienced through our career. So,
including, I must say this, including, believe it or not, they had attorney, and we had to cut a deal with something because our attorney was out of town, and we cut a deal with a project that we just had to do it in order to close the deal with the movie. So, we're like, wow, we do all of these things.
Yeah, so it was with Paramount Pictures, and we didn't know what to do. So we, back in the day, it was Barnes and Nobles. There was no Google. This was 2001, I think. And so we went to Barnes and Nobles and Borders and found all these books, and we cut the deal. And the movie was in the score, starring Robert De Niro. And we maintained all our publishing, and also in the crawl, the credits that go up, there was our names, which normally doesn't happen, and your publishing company. But in the meantime, so going back to your question at hand regarding the consulting, it was because of the pandemic. That you have to consistently reinvent yourself. So from artists to songwriters, producers, studio owners, whatever it is. So during the pandemic, for years, Terry, you could talk a little bit about your mom and what happened, and we can tell you how this all came out.
So my mom is a legendary soul singer, Linda Jones. She passed, as Helen said, when I was very young, and I wanted to continue to build upon her legacy. She was only 27 when she passed away, very, very young. And her music was being exploited by other people, and I was not receiving any royalties on her behalf. So the one thing that I said, if I'm going to be in this music industry, I'm going to learn the business of music as well, not just creative, but also the business side of things. So that was something that was super important to me. During the pandemic, we decided to go back and reclaim my mother's legacy. We had been paying attorneys, paying different people to go to the labels to try to get the royalties. It was not happening. So during the pandemic, Helen and I said, okay, we're going to jump in here. We're going to do it ourselves. We called the label. We went in. We made sure that, hey, they knew exactly who it was. Of course, they did not want any lawsuits. It was also Black Lives Matter. A lot of talk around that, and labels and people not being paid properly, and we were able to get everything paid out. That was back from years and years and years, and we did it on our own.
So in doing so, one of Mom Linda, I call Linda Jones, Mom Linda's producers, George Kerr, he has a catalog of over 250 songs or more. He's licensed everything from his songs have been sampled, I might as well say, Kanye West, Jay-Z, Chance the Rapper. And he said, girls, if you can, get your moms, then why not work with me? And so we started working with him. And from there, he told somebody else found out, somebody else. So now we handle a plethora of songs that have been licensed. Some of our artists, Jay-Z and Alicia Keys, what's the song, Empire State of Mind, here, they sampled with that. So it's amazing. Then Joey Washington, our friend, he just did Pitbull and J-Lo, and he just got a new sample. And there's a couple of secretive right now Motown artists that are sampling some of our people. So, you know, I can talk. So shut me up, Carol.
Listen. You know, but I want them all to know. I told them, I said, my friends are phenomenal. Okay. So I want you to talk, and I want you to tell them everything. You know, there's not enough time, unfortunately, for you to tell them everything, but I want them to hear as much as you share or are able to share in this, you know, in this amount of time. What I do want to do is let you know that some of our friends who are on Facebook are saying hello. Walt Reader said T and H hustle from the muscle for shizzle.
Hey, Walt.
Chip sends his love. Chip says, yes. He's sending love, and he said, you all are so beautiful. And Marcus, hey, Marcus John Bryant, he says, royalty, gems. So everybody's saying hello and are picking up these pearls that you ladies are dropping. Before we have to take a little break, there's so much that I want to talk with you about, but you know, when I invited you both to be guests, I stressed that I wanted you to talk about. I did, you know I did, girl. You know I did. Didn't I, T? But I stressed that I wanted to share, because I want the legacy of our beloveds to live on. I wanted you both to share about our beloved Sarah Dash and Doc Gibbs. Please.
It's been a hard month, 2 months for us, all of us, our whole community. And for us personally, I mean, the loss of Doc Gibbs. Many of you may not know, but Doc Gibbs is a master percussionist. If you like this Christmas with Donny Hathaway, that's him playing the congas. Everyone from Grover Washington Jr., Anita Baker, Erykah Badu, he passed, and we were just on the phone, and he was telling me about 2 weeks prior to, he said, Helen, protect your energy, be around positive people. He said, because stress can work on your health. And his daughter is like our God baby. Yeah. So there's a long story about how that happened, which is absolutely wonderful. We'll tell that on the private side. Hey, but it's, you know, we love them. And you could talk about our Sarah. We're still in shock regardless.
Yeah. Sarah Dash, that's our heart. Of LaBelle, legendary, and she was a solo artist as well. And we lost her, and our hearts have been breaking over the past, ever since it happened, September 20th. And we would love and are going to make sure that her legacy lives on. That is something that we have to do. Sarah was co-founder of the group LaBelle, but she was also our family, more so than anything, first and foremost. And I truly miss her. I truly miss her.
We could really talk. We were all together, 12 hours before she passed, and it was just sudden. It was sudden. She was happy. She had just got on the stage with her sister, Patti LaBelle. She sung "Isn't It a Shame?" Carol was there watching her in the audience. She's my good cookie girlfriend, and we're calling each other, and Sarah's screaming, hey, and we're going out to dinner, and, you know, it's crazy. But on October the 16th, the New Jersey Hall of Fame will be inducting her posthumously into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. Danny DeVito is hosting, and Patti LaBelle, Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones, Nona Hendrix of LaBelle, and so many others. Quincy Jones will be there. And the three of us, we do a tribute to Sarah. It's called
Terry and Carol.
Yes.
The
three of us. Carol Riddick.
Carol Riddick. Helen Brunner and Terry Jones. Yeah.
And also Deanna Williams and Dante Thomas Morelli, who is the current president of our Philadelphia chapter of the Recording Academy. So Terry and I was asked by the New Jersey Hall of Fame to produce and direct Sarah's segment, and we didn't know, we had never done that before. So you got to be prepared and ready for when something comes to you. But we took on the challenge because we love Sarah, and so hopefully you guys can tune in on October 16th, and also it'll air again on October 20th on PBS.
Yes, and that's Don Thompson Morelli, Helen.
Correction. What did I say?
Don Thomas.
Oh, you know what? I could listen. I'm horrible when it comes. They know I'm turning into my mother. My mother called, look, not controversy, count your blessings with Prince. I swear I'm becoming my mother. I know I am, but thank you for that. All right. You know it. I called Ashley Scott, Ashley Thomas, didn't I?
You sure did. Yes, you
Sorry,
did.
Ashley.
Yes.
You Ashley Scott. Good luck on your record.
Yes, you did.
I'm the crazy one, everyone.
Yes, she is. Okay. Yes, she is.
Can I add to what Helen said too regarding Sarah?
Absolutely.
It was a true blessing to know her. It was a true blessing to be a part of her life. She is someone that was one of a kind person, and not just her legacy and who she is, just her inner being and who she was as a person. And I am thankful and that I got a chance to be a part of her life. And we all got a chance to share her with others, so many others that loved her and still love her.
Yes. She's, I mean, you know, it's so hard to talk about Sarah because it just hurts so bad. I can't believe it. She called us her dolls, and we miss her every second of the day. You know, and she was an icon, but she was our Sarah. We would sit and eat fried chicken, and, you know, we talk about, you know, what we're going to wear. I mean, just regular things. She was just you know, so,
and we would travel together. We love traveling with Sarah.
Oh my goodness.
Always a fun time. And when she hit the red carpet, that was it. It was on.
Yes, it was. You know that I have all of the stories that I have about Sarah. There's so much laughter with all of the times that we had, as you just said, Sarah. Oh my goodness, we had so much fun together. So, you know, I find myself when I'm referring to the loss of a loved one saying that I have a happy inside my hurt, because I'm able to reflect on those moments. But what I want to do right now is allow us to take a deep breath and just take a moment. Family, we'll be right back.
Saving for a down payment can be difficult, but that home you've had your eye on could be closer than you think. $15,000 closer. Find out if you qualify for $15,000 in down payment assistance. Go to wellsfargo.com/liftup. Get closer to home at wellsfargo.com/liftup. Additional restrictions apply. Customers can work with any Neighborhood Lift program approved lender for their home financing needs. Neighborhood Lift is a collaboration of Wells Fargo Bank, N.A. Wells Fargo Foundation, and Neighbor Works America. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A. All rights reserved. NMLSR ID 399801. Equal housing lender.
This Word Wellness Vignette is brought to you by Keystone First. Word Radio presents the following wellness tip to support our listeners with mindfulness and motivation.
This is Helena, your resident expert health and wellness coach, with tips to help you stay well. Let's talk about the importance of getting enough sleep. We have all had moments when we feel like we're living one long day, and taking a break seems so hard to do. Let's think about this for a moment. There's a good chance that we may be needing extra rest and rejuvenation to function well. As it turns out, most people need 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Learning to get enough sleep can simply look like this. Number 1, start to wind down about 50 to 60 minutes before you actually plan to go to bed. Number 2, make your bedroom your sanctuary and be very strict about keeping work and electronics out. Number 3, spend time before bed doing soothing activities like reading, breathing, or simply resting. Sleep is natural, healing, and restorative, and it's something our bodies truly need. Skimping on sleep just to be more productive is not worth it. Getting enough sleep is something we can all do to support our overall health. Go ahead and try it today. Stay well with Word. Happy, healthy living.
Stay well with Word. Connect with us at wordradio.com. This Word Wellness Vignette was brought to you by Keystone First. For more information, visit KeystoneFirstPA.com.
I heard the COVID-19 vaccine has...
And the thing I heard about the vaccine...
Sure, but do we really know about the long-term effects?
Did you read that thing on the internet?
He heard from his cousin that they don't...
Okay, you're hearing a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines these days. So how do you find out if getting vaccinated is right for you? By talking to someone you already trust, your doctor or healthcare provider. They'll answer your questions so you can decide what's best for you and your family. Go to getvaccineanswers.org to find out more. That's getvaccineanswers.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Save Space on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
Family, you're listening to Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We have been talking with Terry Jones and Miss Helen Bruner. I saw the little blush on your face, Helen. We were listening to Miss Helen Bruner a moment ago. Earlier, we listened to our sister, Lady Alma. Listen, this is family here. This is what we do. This is what we do.
See, girl, where you draw it? Where you find that at? That's right. I like that song, though. I was like, hey.
I love that song. My illustrious producer, Ms. Kayla J., she dug that out, okay?
Oh, Kayla. Kayla.
What I want you to do, too, is take a moment, because we have some love that is being shared here in our Facebook room from our additional family. Alexis Jones Davis says, hey.
Hey,
Hey, Alexis. Tawanda Edwards says, we love Sarah. Hey, family.
Yes.
And our beloved Deanna Williams.
Hey,
Davey. My Davey.
Tawanda and D.
Dee.
Yes.
Yes. You know, we got to get love. We have to give love.
Absolutely.
But, ladies, I want to tell you that it's just been amazing hearing some of these stories. I want to continue the discussion that we started, but before I do that, I'd like to make our listeners aware of one thing. I'd like to let you know that WURD Radio is sharing a harvest for the world. From October 11th through December 31st, visit wordradio.com each week to find information on upcoming Give Back events in Philadelphia. We'll feature organizations hosting free food, clothing giveaways, workshops, and more. This is the season of giving back, and WURD will make sure you have a seat at the table. To find out more, visit wordradio.com. I wanted to make sure you were all aware of that, because that's some important information, and I needed to share that with you too. So Hel and T, because I told y'all that's to how, you know, that's how I refer to them. Oh, look at this. Nettie Pooh just joined the room. Annette.
Nettie!
Good evening, ladies.
I want some buffalo chicken dip.
Oh, girl. Yes. Okay, for those of you who are unaware, okay, Annette made some buffalo chicken dip. Okay, I don't want to get sidetracked, but you needed to know about that buffalo chicken dip. It gave me a whole new meaning to life. I must share that. It really did.
We all can cook now. We all love to cook.
Yeah,
so.
We do.
But we're going to stay on track, because you know me.
We are. Now, we're going to reel it on. We're going to reel it in. So I want to go back to our conversation about Sarah, and I want to make sure that I have you repeat what you said about the Hall of Fame, because I really want everyone to be able to support So the Hall of Fame is going to air a program. It's on October 16th. Is that correct?
Yes, October 16th on My 9, New Jersey, My 9, New Jersey. And then on PBS on October, and My 9, New Jersey is at 7 p.m. PBS on October 20th is at 8 p.m. And then it will air several times throughout the month of August after the 20th. So if you can check your local listings, you'll get a chance to see it. And maybe we'll be able to stream it or something on Facebook.
Okay, I was going to ask that too. So are we able to go to the website to find that information?
Yes, you'll be able to go. I believe that the New Jersey Hall of Fame is going to stream one of them on their YouTube page live. So I'll find out what that is, and then I can share the information with you, Carol, and then also with all the listeners on our Facebook pages or Instagram pages, and they can take a look at it. Because you got to see it. Oh, also, Sarah, she, it was so ironic because she made and did her acceptance speech the day before her birthday, August 17th, at Patty's house. So her, Patty, and Nona got together. I won't give too much away about that particular part, but, you know, they said, well, let's do it early. And then she was supposed to film the musical part this month. But, of course, we know what happened last month, but we know what happened. And that's why Terry, Carol, and myself stepped in on behalf of Sarah. But so it's weird how God orchestrates certain things. You never know. And she was so happy about being inducted, you know. So also a couple of others will be inducted as well.
Yes, and we're happy to be able to pay tribute to her. Also, Deanna Williams and Don Thompson Morelli is a part of it, and we are all, for those of you who don't know, Carol Riddick, Helen Brunner, Terry Jones, Deanna Williams, and Don Thompson Morelli is our current chapter president of the Recording Academy, the Grammy organization here. Mm-hmm. Carol, myself, and Helen and Deanna are all past presidents of the chapter. So as women of this music community and the Recording Academy and just her musical family, we are all going to keep her legacy alive and hopefully do her proud on this piece that will be airing on October 16th.
Yeah,
you know, I'm glad.
Love serving. Mm-hmm.
She really did. And I was just about to speak toward that. Hell, we had a caller in our last hour, and he spoke about lifting and uplifting and helping one another. Ron, if you're still listening, Ron was talking about, you know, helping one another, being a servant. And that's who Sarah was.
Yes, she was.
Yes, that is who Sarah was. I mean, that's who you two are. That's who Deanna is. You know, we all have that at our core, which I think brought us, you know, brings us so close to one another, because at our core, we care so deeply. And
Sarah was amazing. I mean, she would just, a stranger on the street, if she, you know, and at the grocery store, if she saw it was somebody, she said, here, I'll pay for it. You know, she'd give an extra tip. She was always one, let's buy more. And she said, whenever you go into somebody's house, you always bring them some flowers and some food, and you grace their house. You know, she was very much like that, you know, very much a diva. Yes. But it was done it was so much love. It was so much love in what she did.
Yes.
And we can talk about some wonderful times. I'll give one little story. Do I have enough time to do a little Sarah story?
Yes, you do. Please share.
So we're all in LA, and all the ladies, we have something after the Grammys. We always do a breakfast at this place called La Conversation in New York. So Sarah's in there. I think Kathy Sledge was there, was a couple other people, and we're all here because that's what we do. All the girls, we get together. So Evan Ross, Dinah Ross's son, walks in with his wife, Ashley, and he looks and he sees Sarah, and he goes, Sarah, Miss Sarah. She says, yes. And she looks over, yes. And he goes, oh my gosh, let me call Mom. Let me tell her to come on down here because you guys are all in. And she says, no, tell Diana, okay, I'll call in a minute. We were like, wait a minute, they're talking, is Diana Ross and Sarah Dash. And Evan calls on, Mom, Miss Sarah says, she's like, hello, Diana, listen, I'm up to, you know, I'm down the street. And they're all just conversing, and it's just natural because they're just two women who go back like jacks. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So she was just, oh yeah, tell Di, I'll call her later, and we'll chat. And it was just like boom, and then she went back to eating her pancakes. You know, so it was just oh my gosh, just amazing.
You know, I think that's the thing that I love the most about Sarah, because like you said, you know, she was very particular. Her speech, she was so regal.
Oh yes.
She was so regal, but you know how some people could hear, you know, sometimes people perceive you to be different based upon how you speak. I've dealt with that. So, but you didn't with Sarah.
No.
Because her love walked first. You felt she exuded love. She was a little love bug. Her little tiny little self. She was a little love bug.
She was.
And you felt that first. She was.
But you felt that. She would always say, "Be encouraged."
Yes.
How you doing, Sarah? I'm pressing my way. You know.
Yes.
Always just send a little. You know, in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, she may have fell asleep at 4 because we were on the phone. And she would send little prayers to everybody. And we thought we were the only ones getting the prayers, honey. Well, let me tell you, the world was getting that prayer, but you felt that it was only you.
Yes.
When I tell you, I was just about to say that. I thought that, I really felt, I felt like, wow, oh, she sends her girls this prayer. And so many people said that to me. So many people. We're talking. So many people were posting about it. How they'll miss, you know, her words of encouragement and the prayers, the random prayers, because you know, remember they were so random. You know, the random prayers that she was saying. But that, I mean, even that I is listen, I aspire, okay, because I mean, how do you touch so many people?
And an icon.
Yeah, absolutely.
We took her out for her birthday. We took her away for her birthday. We're sitting in the restaurant, and this guy was, oh my gosh, it's Sarah Dash. She said, oh, darling, come and sit down. You know, it was like, no big deal. You know, we're all family. It's no big deal. So we would forget that she's this icon. We would completely forget that because that's not who she was. She was Sarah Dash. She was her mother and father's daughter. You know, she's one of 13 children. She's the 7th child.
Yep.
So that is who she was. And all her sisters, you know what I mean, who are left, you know, that's all they see is their sister. They don't see the icon. That's all we see is our dear mother, sister, aunt, best friend, you know, and then who will make sure that you're singing on pitch. And if you ain't doing right,
she's going to tell you. Yes.
Now, won't she?
Did she not call you?
Did she? Well, listen, did she? And I knew to expect that call. She called. I said, Sarah, I don't know what. She said, Carol, what happened? I said, Sarah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Oh gosh.
And you can't be offended because it's Sarah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she you know,
loving.
Exactly.
That's right.
Everything she did and everything she said was in love.
When we're going out, what are you wearing? You know, like, what are you wearing? You know, they're the kind that'll tell you she comes from the school that she's not going to let you go out wrong and laugh at, she's going to make sure you're right because she wants you to continue the legacy of Black, strong, talented women in this industry with class. That's what she was about.
Yes.
So that's what she was giving us, pouring into us. And, you know, we didn't know it at the time. As we are getting older, now we can see what she was trying to do, what she was doing, not trying, she was doing, because many times, all of us, we find ourselves doing something that Sarah would do.
Saying something, doing something.
Yes, we walk with that every day. I will say that from now until forever, I will walk with what she's taught us and what she poured into us and try to pass that on to other women and men in this industry and outside of the industry, because she set an example and a very high bar, and I just want to continue to push that forward.
Yes, and a lot of people don't know that was Sarah singing the high notes. They always thought it was Patty, but it was Sarah. And the phrasing of LaBelle, that's all Sarah Dash. Da, 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 that's Sarah Dash. And Patty will say, she taught me so much, but she was so humble in it. And she just fell back. You know, she was the heart of the group.
She was a gentle giant. That's
gentle giant, yes.
Sarah was a gentle giant. So we have some more friends that are saying hello to us.
Wow, I wish we could see them.
Well, Armand is saying, good seeing you, lady.
Hey, Armand. It's been a long time.
Yes.
Congratulations on everything.
look at you. Look at that. See, that's Sarah right there. Look, that's Sarah right there. That's what Sarah would do. And Chip is saying Sarah was such a loving, giving spirit. He repeated it, pressing my way, pressing my way.
Yes.
He knows. She would call him sometime in the middle of the night and say, "You all right?" And because he was feeling a certain way because she had that third eye. She used discernment. So.
Sarah didn't sleep.
No,
that's one that she did not sleep. Listen,
I know.
that one right there. I'm reliving, our trip when we were in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
all the fun and all the. Listen, I've told so many stories about that trip. The last time we were in LA together, and about me and Sarah running all over California trying to find something to eat. We couldn't find anything to eat, and we were trying to do it in a record amount of time, and then we were trying to get you something to eat, and then it was just a whole hot mess. But we had so much fun, and then we wound up finding a restaurant that we told you, we were like, "Oh, you got to come here." We went shopping. We went shopping in this restaurant.
You remember that, right? We'll keep some of that. And wait a minute, you know how many hotel rooms that security has banged on the door, and it's just us in there? And
wait, you know what?
She would come to the door with this little hello, and they go.
Wait, I have to. Okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to take a moment, go to a break, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to share something with you. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Build skills needed for employment through the Philadelphia Skills Forward Initiative, a free upskilling program for workers displaced by the pandemic, those whose jobs are at risk for automation, and Black and brown workers. Complete courses focused on digital literacy, career management, and professional skills for a successful career. Get started today at chamberphl.com.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, "We worked together, we did a good job."
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Remember the last time your family visited the forest? It's a place of wonder and imagination for the whole family, where stories come to life, and it's closer than you think. Ready to plan your next visit? Make the forest part of your story today at a local park near you, or find one at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Stand with WURD Radio, the only black-owned talk radio station in Pennsylvania. Did you know you can join the Forward movement and amplify voices of the black community as a digital member for as low as $5 per month? Visit membership at wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875. We need you. Show your support. Start or renew your Forward membership today. Save Space on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
There's no difference.
You're listening to Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Oh, family. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We've been talking with Terry Jones and Helen Bruner. We've been sharing stories. We've been doing all kinds of things. Okay. All right. Before we went to break, I was telling Terry and Helen that I was going to share something with them, and I'd like to share it with you all as well. But the last, the day before we lost our beloved Sarah Dash, that was about whom we were talking just before the break. We were texting. Sarah and I were texting. And I said, Sarah, I'm so sorry. I wanted to hang out. I wanted to hang out with you guys last night. You know, I always miss the hang. And Sarah said, well, at least we didn't get put out the hotel. I said, see, I don't know what kind of shenanigans the three of you got into, that she felt it necessary to tell me that at least y'all didn't get put out of the hotel.
We didn't.
Wait, have you ever gotten, is that a story that I don't know? Have you ever gotten put out of a hotel?
Almost. We were in New York. Carol, you were at this event. It was a Grammy event, Lifetime Achievement Award event. And afterwards, Helen and I and Sarah went back to her hotel room. So 3 of us in there. And we're just talking and laughing. And all of a sudden, the security knocks on the door. They're like, we just got a complaint that there was a party going on up in here. And ever since then, we've been saying, we're not going to get kicked out. And Cheryl looked at them and said, excuse me, it's just 3 of us in here. They left us alone, but someone called and complained about us. They said we were having a party in the room. Okay?
You know what? Well, I have to say that I believe it, because I know that when the 4 of us were together, every time we were together, there was a party. So I have to say that I do believe it. I do believe it. Oh, my co-host has joined. My fur child has just joined the room. But I wanted to talk briefly. I just want to know really, really quickly if you could share with us, because I want to go back to something that I said earlier. I told everyone that you guys were Grammy nominated.
Mm-hmm.
Please, like, talk to me about that. Share with us. What did that feel like? What was that experience like? Like, what was that like?
Boy, I'm going to tell you, we were shaking, we were crying, we were laughing, all at the same time when we got the call that we were nominated for a Grammy. It's just was an unbelievable feeling. Helen, you can talk about it too as well and just talk about your experience, but I know I just could not control my emotions. Are you there, Helen? We can't hear you.
Where the hell go?
Where'd you go, Helen?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was muted. I'm talking away. Anyway, but it was for Terry, of course, because it was her mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we were the only independent in our category. We were the only all owned by women. And it was amazing. I mean, we didn't think we were, when they called our names and it said, and I think we were the last ones called, Linda Jones with Helen Bruner and Terry Jones. Me and Terry looked at each other.
I can't believe it.
We were screaming and we started crying because we did it all in-house. We originally were supposed to cut it at Philly International when they were open. And Craig White, bless his soul, he said he would do it for us gratis because we had a baby budget. And but he started doing a major label project, which was on Sony. And he said, look, girls, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Just postpone it. And something in our soul said, no, we need to do it. So we engineered it, did everything, and we would take it to him like 2 a.m. and say, what you think about it? And he was so kind to say, well, tweak this, do that. So we never thought that, you know, we're like, well, we had one chance to submit one record because you have to have the recording within a 5-year period. If it's past 5 years, you can't submit it. Of course, Terry's mom's vocals was back in 1970, but ours was current. So that's how it was like a Nat King Cole, Natalie Cole. So when we submitted it, we had one shot and we got it.
Yes. And I would like to tell people also, as far as giving Mr. Gamble, Kenny Gamble, and Leon Huff we were going back and forth to Philly International, and they had some old vocals in the can of my mom. She came down to Philly International to record, and Mr. Gamble said, "This is your mom. Take it."
Yep, gave it to her.
Wow.
And those are the vocals. Yes, yes. Those are the vocals that we used, my mother's portion on that record, to record and come up with a new work. And it was just unbelievable because, you know, prior to then, it was very hard for me to even listen to my mother's music. And that actually was kind of like therapy for me to go in and create with her, you know? So it was amazing.
That was a once in a lifetime experience.
Yes.
Now we all got to go get some more, right, Carol?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
We got to bring some more nominations and Grammys home.
And there you have it. There you have it. There you have it. I do want to let you know that Craig Godwin says, "I love Helen and Terry, my sisters."
Oh, hey, Craig. Craig has a record out called "Love That Girl" that we produced on him, and it's a great record. You guys go get it.
Yes.
Yeah, he says yes. I say yes. He say yes. Oh, I want to thank you. Oh, my goodness. Y'all, oh, Bobby, Bougie Bobby says, "Hello, Auntie."
Hey, baby. That's Aunt Sarah's nephew. Yes.
And Joey Washington. Oh, my goodness. So Joey wants to know, he says, now, when is the next single from H&T? Will it be R&B or dance? You're working on it?
Project now.
Next project.
Well, you know, we just got some new toys, Carol.
I know. Wait, we always shopping. We always shopping. We just all went and got some new toys. I'm ecstatic about it, okay? I'm ecstatic.
Yes.
Yes.
Parson is happy with us, right? And Sam Ash is very happy with the three of us.
Aren't they? Aren't they? After that one day, they are. Listen, I want to say, oh my goodness, because you know I could talk to y'all all night. I probably will after we're done. But I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for making yourselves available, for obliging me, for accommodating me, you know, for coming and sharing with everybody and just sharing who you are. Because I know you have a ton of things on your plate. Every time I call, you know, you give me a moment. So I love you. I love you. I love you. What I'd like to say is, family, that wraps up another episode of Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I want to give a special thank you to Kayla J., my illustrious show producer. Thank you to Sarita, because I did not say that yesterday. Yes, thank you to Sarita. Thank you, family, for participating. Everybody that called in tonight, Cliff, Ron, Dwayne, everybody that wanted to participate. It was truly a pleasure. And a special thank you to all of our guests as well. Miss ALIYA Crawford, Ms. Terry Jones, Ms. Helen Bruner. You know what, ladies? I would like for you to share your socials before I say the very last thing that I want to do to close the show. I would like for you to share your socials with everybody, if that's all right.
Oh, sure. We can be reached at Instagram, Helen and Terry, HELENANDTERRY on Instagram. On Facebook, it's Helen Bruner and Terry Jones. And then we have our personal pages. Terry's is Linda Jones on Facebook. I'm Helen Bruner. And on Twitter, we're Philerzy, PHILERZY.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. God willing, I will see you tomorrow in the same space at the same time, right here on Save Space. Remember, we're all in this together, y'all. Be good to you and be good to those around you. Stay tuned. Keeping It Real with Alice Sharpton is next.
Thank you, Carol.